Hello there, and welcome to the Pizza Pals. Pizza. Wait, hold on. What day is this?
Oh, wrong day, BC. We
Oh,
gotta
sorry.
talk about Star Wars cards.
This is the Cargo Bay presents odds and ends. Not really a set guide per se here. I'm Brady C here with my co-host as always.
Adam B. Pizza B.
The Pizza Boys are here.
Now we're gonna talk about weird Star Wars cards related to 1977 Star Wars, because we were gonna cover everything from the original trilogy. That was hubris.
There is a lot of weird stuff out there,
Yeah.
which I'm sure some of our seasoned viewers are well aware of. But a lot of this stuff was new to us, so hopefully it's new to some of y'all out there too. We got what I think are actually some real treasures that we were able to find.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, BC, that was hard to track down information on, partially because it's in other languages, and partially because at least I could not find a good database of just an exhaustive list of all this stuff. So if if you have a good resource out there, let me know. That would be great to have, because it was hard to track what I could track down about all of this. This will not be comprehensive. I'm sure we're going to miss some. And maybe one of these sets or a couple of these sets will cover in depth in the future, but this is really just going to be an overview. So.
Yeah. So a tour through the flea markets of the Cargo Bay here in our Google slideshow.
Yeah, let's see what we got in the hold here, BC.
Yeah.
First of all, like and subscribe.
Oh,
sorry, I forgot.
Oh,
please do that.
We always forget. Yeah, thanks.
Moving on to 1977 Topps, the top Starfield design outside of the U.S. There may be more than this, but it seems like the main releases are, of course, the o-pee-chee cards, which I've heard a lot about, and the Mexican Star Wars cards, which I have not heard a lot about. So o-pee-chee cards, of course, o-pee-chee, a confectionery company in Canada that licensed these cards from Topps. I think Topps bought them out eventually. But they're very similar to the regular Topps cards. There's only 3 sets, so there's some discrepancy there. But the big difference is the cards have both French and English on both the fronts and rear side of the card.
Oui, oui.
Yeah, I would like these cards a lot more. I think if I spoke French, that'd be cool. But my main problem is, the text. It just doesn't fit as well on the front of that card. A lot of times it's all squazzled. Yeah.
I just want to shout you out for picking the greatest image that's ever existed for a trading card of horrified Luke seeing his family killed in multiple languages.
I was curious if it would line up, because you'll see in the Spanish, translation here just says Luke in horror. So
it's pretty good, but could be more descriptive.
And now this is the cards are the cards from Mexico are fascinating to me, because there were only 2 cards per pack. And from what you got gum and 2 cards. That you're gonna lose condition on those cards really easily. The print quality was apparently lower. And then also I read some about the way the packs were made, although they look the same, that they sealed in moisture better. And then I found this story, which is maybe, it seems a little suspect to me. I didn't find anything else to confirm it, but let me read this old forum post from 2019. It's a 66 card set comprised of the same 66 cards as the U.S. Topps set in the same order. The only difference is the language on the front and the back. The card stock is of a poor quality. There are only 2 cards in each pack, which I can confirm that. The cards were made in Mexico and shipped to the U.S. on a boat. The only boat with these cards on it sank at the docks. The cards were recovered, but a large percentage of them were water damage. The boxes themselves were smaller than the U.S. boxes, since the packs only had 2 cards in them. So the boat sinking full of the cards, I don't know what that's about, and I'm not sure if they meant going from the U.S. to Mexico. I'm not really sure about that story, but it adds to the lore of this set that is incredibly hard to complete and grade because the
I think
quality is worse and they're more easily found damaged.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Gordon Lightfoot write a song about the singing of the Mexican tops ship?
So,
Am I wrong about
yeah,
that?
it's really heartbreaking. Talks about the really some beautiful imagery about the packs bobbing up to the surface and a
Yeah.
horrified Luke, covered
He
in
was horrified for a reason. Shout out to all my Gordon Lightfoot.
yeah.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in today.
Well, anyway, so not much different there, but still interesting stuff, BC. So moving
Things are going to take a little bit of a different turn from our typical design in the next slide here. Let's take a look at what we got.
Sugar-free gum wrappers,
What?
BC.
What?
So sugar-free bubblegum from 1977-1978 doesn't sound very appealing to me. But man, these are cool-looking sticks of gum, BC. And if you open them up, the inside of the individual gum wrappers have really cool images on them.
I think I almost prefer them wrapped.
Really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, I do.
I like an old-fashioned sugar-free stick of gum. Who doesn't? What child wasn't excited about a Han Solo sugar-free stick of gum in 1977?
I would love to give one of these a taste someday. If you send one of those to the cargo bay, I will chew on it for a while.
As it disintegrates into your mouth and you scream in horror.
Yeah. Have some experience there. But these wrappers, VC, Topps did release like a commemorative set kind of recently that featured a lot of this art. I love the backgrounds in some of these and kind of the weird designs. There's a lot of cool stuff there, but they're just wrappers. They're not cards, but people grade them. They fall into the card category. They're from Topps. So, there you
go. For a long time, all trading cards were a means of selling gum, So it's a beautiful thing to see.
Hey, well, we will continue to see food products paired with trading cards.
Darn right we will.
Here we are with Wonder Bread, BC. This is a popular set.
Probably, I'd say, maybe the most well-known of kind of the oddities. We're categorizing this in the oddities. It's a 16 card set. You got one per loaf of bread. So while you're enjoying your delicious white bread from Wonder Bread, you'd be clamoring for a Grand Moff Tarkin to come out of your slices of bread. But yeah, I'd say there's a lot of these that are in the PSA registry. There's a lot of these are graded. I generally like the design of them a lot. I like the big Star Wars chonk on the side and the yellow, border down there with the name on it.
Hey, we've got 4 great ship shots here.
Yeah.
Check out our sub podcast, Ship Shots, coming soon. But man, I just love the idea of like a child buying a loaf of bread with their allowance and opening it up, and it's Tarkin, and just dropping the bread in the trash.
Like, I'm never eating bread again.
I didn't want the Tarkin.
I feel like I've read that there was a way to kind of like game the system and like peek through the loaf to see who you're gonna get. I don't imagine too many kids were clamoring for the Tarkin. It's like pulling an old, terrifying man out of your bread is like, it's not my idea of a good time, but like I can appreciate it now, I guess.
I would love to see some graded sealed bread loaves.
That's a PSA 8 loaf. You got dinged for the mold.
Got to shout out the artwork on these displays too. I've seen people with like larger displays from this kind of advertising in the store, and I really like the cartoon style on there. So again, this is just kind of an overview, but pretty cool stuff. Definitely a fan of this set. And up next, the 1977 Topps Yamakatsu cards, BC. These are super cool.
I love these.
Yeah.
These were like the find for me. The images are cool. They've got a high glossy finish. These specific cards pictured are larger than a normal trading card, so that's gonna turn some people off immediately. I was like, I dig it. I like that it's a larger card. And the Star Wars logo being transparent, just chef's kiss on design for me. It looks so good.
These are a lot of these images are used on the regular Topps US release cards, but these are like high quality prints from
Yeah.
1977. I love the backs of these too. They're different
Yeah.
ships on the back. I think we talked about these several months ago. You know, we first kind of discovered these and we're like, oh man, these are really cool.
These are sweet.
They are really, really cool. I want to look at the next slide because
Yeah.
there are also, so this is what my research told me is, you know, you could buy these cards either in these cellophane packs with a few, or there are these things called gamble books. And this is the only image I could find. I found one other image half cropped of a gamble book. And as I understand, that Jawa card is just one of those cards taped to the front of the book. It had a different image behind it. But they're like paper envelopes that you would rip out and buy. And only in those gamble books did you have the potential to get a winner card, which is, you can see this is a smaller card here, I think, because it's in a PSA slab and it's not oversized. But they have red stamps on the back, and if you got a winner card, you would take it up to the vendor or the store owner, and they would give you a toy or a little prize, maybe a more premium photo or something. From what I can understand, it's not like a specific toy line that went hand in hand with it. It was kind of at the shop owner's discretion. Maybe there were some other cards sent out, but I can't find. Again, I could not find good information on this. These cards are out there. They're not hard to find, the cards, but the gamble books themselves and the prizes are hard. And most of the times you find a winner card, it will have a line through it or something where it was redeemed, you know, by the person who got it.
Just a simpler and more beautiful time in humanity when this existed. It reminds me of my youthful summers when you could crack open a Sprite bottle cap and immediately get another 20-ounce Sprite from the gas station. Those were always fun. I did listen to someone talking, because I watched someone opening, it wasn't the gamble pack, it was just the regular large size pack, but because the smaller cards or the regular trading card sizes are more rare. They're not as plentiful as that like kind of oversized card. So the smaller card was apparently, those were more widely distributed in like countryside areas, whereas like the larger, more concentrated in like the big cities. So you had a better chance of finding those smaller cards kind of more, I guess I would almost say like more rurally or more locally, as opposed to the larger card. Man, but I so legitimately love this set. I think everything about it's really cool.
We aren't showing a lot of them here, but there are some fantastic images, and also these like paintings or whatever. I think these are really, really cool too. I love the design and the colors on these kind of graphically, these illustrated images or whatever. So yeah, super cool stuff. Again, we definitely bought all of these off of eBay so that you can't
find them anymore, suckers.
We just or at least I do. At least I do. I haven't bought a card in several months at this point, I think. Moving on to another cool set, we have the Panini Star Wars stickers, which I feel like these are also well known. These, you know, Italy and elsewhere, you know, like
I mean, Panini is definitely Italian.
I mean, so these were stickers, and there are different sticker albums for the same set. I don't know what Kriegder I have it cut off behind our heads, but I feel like that's
Krieg
not.
der Sterne.
Yeah, I think that's not Italian, but there are Italian versions of that photo book.
Yeah.
I did include an eBay seller here because I stole a lot of these pictures from one seller. But a lot of these great image choice on these, and then I think the big thing, the most unique thing is, you know, the multiple panel stickers to create these big images. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 6.
Yeah.
Like those X-wings. Oh man, those X-wings are cool.
Looks
Look really
awesome.
good. Macquarie, you know, concepts in there too.
Yeah. So I like the idea behind the Panini sticker thing, because this is something that, I mean, they've done, and
Yeah.
Panini still does for soccer. They have these like sticker books. Like the point of it is they're not a trading card. It is meant to be like pulled off the back, peeled, put in the display for the book that comes separately. So these are, I would imagine, are hard to come by, because most of them, I would imagine, or the majority of them, wound up stuck in some collector's book, which is where they, in most minds, belong. You know.
And it's a big set, almost 300 stickers, I believe. You can, you know, a lot of people grade these. The full sets I was seeing, you know, I'm sure, I don't know, it doesn't mean that's what the price is, but they were thousands of dollars for a complete unripped set. You know, I haven't done any research on the actual value of these, but really cool image selection, and yeah, just some cool stuff. And this is something we'll see in the next set as well, is, you know, we didn't get a lot of space battle cards in our, you know, our tops cards, and the space battle representation is here in this Panini set.
Yeah.
But maybe even more so in this next set, BC. The 1977 Pacosa Dos International. This was an elusive set, and interesting to find out about. I believe just in Costa Rica and Spain is where these are from. And these are not stickers from what I can tell. They are just tiny, not even tiny, just they're little cards, little photo cards.
I love it. The Luke glamour shot is something else.
I want an autograph on that. If I was Mark Hamill's back to signing stuff, if I was sending something in, that is what I would want to send in.
I'd send that and be like, just inscribe whatever you want, Mark. Go nuts. And, he's always good with the inscriptions.
I think that one might inspire something beyond just the regular signature if you allowed it. Do have a pack of these, you know, a graded pack here. But BC, this Millennium Falcon edited on to this TIE fighter shot, that's incredible, because that's like an original work done for this set, I guess.
It's like a bootleg image.
Yeah. And then this is why this, I think, is my favorite find. BC. Man, the image quality isn't great on these, but the image selection, Panini shares a lot of these cool images, but there's some in this that I couldn't find anywhere else, and they are cool images.
Yeah. The Rebels hallway looks amazing.
Looks like a war photo. I was saying, like an actual documentary war photo.
You got X-Wings and TIE fighters in formation, basically, which is super sick. Would have liked to have seen some more of this in the main line tops releases, because, you know, we treasured things like, you know, you've got the weirdo
I love
the space battle card, the spectacular battle card, which features, you know, an X-Wing and TIE fighter, but there's just not a lot of those in the set, you know.
Yeah, there are a few, and those are some of my favorites for that reason. But yeah, it was cool to see some of this stuff, and a lot of it too, I think, is that because it's a lower quality images and print quality than what TOS would have permitted, they could use shots that were in motion, you know, that are kind of blurry. Like, again, these aren't super sharp. We have them pretty small here, but like the cockpit looking at the Death Star and like the targeting computer, Invader's TIE fighter, just like weird, cool stuff. And this shot of the X-Wings, you know, cutting across the axis or whatever. That is the scope and scale of that is what's most impressive about that first Star Wars movie to me. Is like, wow, it really kind of feels like they're attacking a planet-sized space station in that shot. It seems really daunting and terrifying. So yeah,
And the way they figured out scale and filming scale is mind-boggling to me.
Smarter people than I will ever
Yep.
be.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool stuff. I was really excited to find these. Had no idea until we were almost done looking for this stuff that these existed. But moving on to the ad pack stickers, which is basically the Canadian.
Take me to school on this. What is was out of left field for me.
I think this is basically the Canadian version of the Wonder Bread cards.
Okay.
I think
it has that kind of feel, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a General Mills company ad pack,
okay.
and I'm not sure if these were in bread loaves, but it could be. And you see that there's two different language options here. So it's like the o-pee-chee kind of version of those Wonder Bread cards. And yeah, these are super cool. I have the Jawa here in both languages, where I prefer the French version because it is le chef, le chief Jawa, which does translate to the chief Jawa.
I love it. The chief Jawa.
Didn't know there was a chief Jawa, but now we know. And yeah, really weird design, and I kind of love it. So there you go. These are stickers. They really went hard on that border.
I apologize. I'm going to ask you a question that I don't know the answer. Great content, because it has the potential to go through us. Did you see? Is there any of this sort of the ad pack? Is this readily available? Is this an eBay purchasable thing, or
this more so than other stuff? I think these are fairly common.
Okay.
And by fairly, I mean that Jawa. Like getting one of these, and these are in bad shape, is what I would say.
Right. Yeah,
these are easy to come by and not great shape, and they're not super cheap. But I can't remember very well.
Okay.
So yeah, interesting stuff. That Star Wars around the corner is especially weird.
Take me to church with this next slide. Take me to church with this one.
Oh man, this was a delight to find. What the heck
I got
R2?
a under the collar on this.
What are these R2D2 space ice cards? I said, and yeah, this is a company in New Zealand that makes like ice cream products. And interesting thing is, I checked their website; they still exist. And on their website, their like main ad for popsicles, someone is wearing an official like Calvin and Hobbes shirt. So I'm like, their copyright law is different. Maybe they're doing a brand promotion. But anyway, in 1977, they made R2D2 Space Ice popsicles, and they made a sticker set. These are little things, a little smaller than your standard trading card. And they're mostly Ralph McQuarrie concept images with this beautiful, like, maybe it's because it's not a U.S. company, but like I love the company branding on this. It's awesome.
I think it looks so good. Like it is. So the Yamakatsu, there's like I don't know. There's like almost like a prestigiousness to that. There's like a fine art to this. This brings in some like nostalgic kitsch flavor that tickles the other part of my brain, like my aesthetic brain, where it's like, I love both of them for very different but very specific reasons. They are the two among all of them that when I look at them, I just go, that. Like immediately I'm drawn to it.
I agree on all counts there, BC. That is like, this makes me feel like a kid in a cool way, and the Yamakatsu is like, oh, I could have this on my shelf as an adult.
A fine art piece. Oh yeah.
I wasn't around for the 70s, but as a as a fan of rock and roll music and movies from the 70s, I have a like an artificial nostalgia for the 70s. And I look at this and I'm like, this makes me think of Poltergeist. Like this feels like I wasn't there, but there's such a wonderful 70s flavor to
Yeah,
this, like that I really
totally.
like. And also, I mean, the fact that it's mostly Ralph McQuarrie stuff. There are also cool images, but man, I would love some of these someday. These are not cheap. These are hard to come by. Again,
Yeah.
there's stickers and they came out of ice cream products. I have the website listed below where I found good information about this. It is from New Zealand, and when I found that website, it was easy to find information on these, including on this next slide. We have the wrappers of the R2D2 Space Ice pops, and then the game board, which had spots for stickers. So it's like its own little. It's a board game, a very simple board game with super cool design, and then also you could stick your stickers on those spots. So
What happened to the world? We don't make things anymore.
this is
God.
really really cool.
Yeah.
Just like those sand troopers and everything about the design of that game board is really great.
Beautiful.
I want some of that R2D2 Space Ice.
I do.
Again, I feel like I grew up in the late 70s right now. Like
Yeah, I know.
I
I'm
wasn't
like
there, but
mesmerized by the ad. I'm like, it's like I'm just being drawn into it. I don't know. I think it's super cool.
it makes me feel like I am having a carefree summer and I'm about to go play
Yeah.
like a sport with a bunch of
Yeah.
neighborhood children or something.
Totally.
Do we have anything else here? Oh, yes, I did include some sources here because we don't always, we're usually just dragging images that are pretty easy to find from random places, so I don't always source things. But Ryan Cracknell writes for Beckett. Have made fun of Beckett's website in the past, but a lot of his articles I was looking at to find out any information about this stuff.
Yeah.
This website, the ECDF El Condensador Diffuso, the Flux Capacitor, I guess, was a blog that had a full. If you go there, you can see a full album of all the cards printed in that set that I like so much with the space battle stuff. And then there was some information on this. Baseball Cards Japan is the only place I could find anything about the Gamble books specifically. Cool. So that was a blog that someone made a post in 2015. That is the only clear information I could find. So shout out to all those places.
Yeah, again, if any of our internet sleuth viewers are out there and you know of a consolidated resource for all things odds and ends Star Wars, not just Papa Tops, Father Fanatics, drop it in the comments. We'd appreciate it.
I would love to do a remake of this video that's less confusing and scattered because we have sources of information.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. I don't know. These things are all very cool to me. If you collect any of these, please let us know. Cool stuff. And we'll be back next week with part 2, which I think we can cover Empire and Return of the Jedi all in one video, I think.
Yeah.
I
dig it.
The Star Wars fever didn't burn quite as bright by the time we got to the Return of the Jedi, it seems like. So, all right. Well, anything else, BC?
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you're still with us, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We appreciate you, and I'm just about ready to do my classic shoop. Are you ready?
I'm ready, BC.
Shoop.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Well, I quit.